The boundary between China and Mongolia is well known to many people. The Gobi Desert is one of the world's driest deserts. China is engaged in a fierce race against time to halt the Gobi Desert's southerly advance, since it endangers the well-being of the entire nation. China, meanwhile, has a crazy scheme to transform the desert into a lush forest. Welcome to Worldwide Projects. Join us as we reveal the bizarre technique China uses to transform its desert into a lush forest in this video. What steps is China taking to stop the Gobi Desert from spreading? Is the threat of victory in the war its food supply? The 500,000 square mile Gobi Desert, the world's fourth largest and largest in Asia, extends into modern-day China and Mongolia. It is located in the most distant region of Asia, between Siberia to the north and the Tibetan Plateau, which occupies the southern third of Mongolia to the south. Contrary to the idealized perception of deserts having sweeping sand dunes, the majority of the Gobi's environment is composed of stony, hard-packed terrain. Because it was simpler to traverse the desert on solid ground, the Gobi quickly emerged in history as a potential trade route. Up until recently, there was hardly any human settlement in the region. The Himalayan mountain range created the rain-shadow desert known as the Gobi by keeping rain-carrying clouds from reaching it. It is basically crescent-shaped and located between the Pei Mountains in the south and the Old Tai and Hanggehan mountain ranges in the north. The sinking region encircles the eastern edge of the desert. The Greater Khingan Range is a broad basin that stretches the west of Gobi towards the Tibetan Plateau. Based on changes in climate and topography, the Gobi is divided into a number of unique biological and geographic zones. It is most known for its historical significance as a region that was part of the vast Mongol Empire and was home to several significant cities on the Silk Road. The Gobi Desert is renowned for having wildly fluctuating temperatures, with days frequently going from scorching in the middle of the day to cold at night. The Gobi Desert experiences extremely low winter temperatures that are unheard of in its other Chinese and Mongolian surroundings. Strong winds that sweep across the Gobi Desert's plains are thought to be the cause of the cooler temperatures, and the sand dunes formation, as they are unimpeded by significant mountain ranges. Life is particularly challenging in the winter of the Gobi Desert due to the wind's addition of a chill to the temperature. The summer season is the rainy season for the Gobi Desert. Despite being characterized by temperatures that approach 100 degrees Fahrenheit, the promise of rain, which desert dwellers sorely need, comes along with the high temperatures. The annual rainfall, which only amounts to around 4 to 6 inches or 100 to 150 millimeters on average, never lasts long enough despite the heat. The harsh Gobi climate has historically made it difficult for settlements to remain permanently established, and only a small portion of China's highly developed civilizations have flowed into the desert. Traders were frequently those who traveled across the rough terrain in its early history. Reaching potential markets frequently necessitates crossing deserts, and the Gobi Desert was no exception. For economic reasons, the gravel terrain links the cities of Kalgan, Suzhou, and Beijing. Huaisheng, Harmi, and Baku were connected by another important road, or by another ring between Lanzhou and Hami. The Gobi Desert is a concern because it is insatiable and keeps growing, converting previously fertile territory into an arid desert. At the moment, 27.4% of China is desertified, which affects 400 million people. The northwest Ningxia autonomous region of China has been severely impacted. It has been battling desertification for more than 60 years, and as of 2010, 2.97 million hectares, or 50% of its territory, had been damaged. Farmland and villages could be destroyed by the advancing deserts, which would force residents to leave their homes. In 7 cities and counties in Ningxia, an $80 million World Bank funding project has been assisting with desertification management, restoring natural vegetation, and implementing other ecological protection measures since 2012. For instance, the 75,000-acre Bajistana forest, which is situated on the verge of the desert, receives only 160 millimeters of rain annually, but due to its high evaporation rate of over 2,000 millimeters, sand is thrown into the nearby Yellow River. A 1+4 approach to restoring vegetation has been adopted. 1 means the use of a straw checkerboard to fix the seed, which is the foundation, while 4 refers to planting in spring and autumn supplemented by spot sowing, container seeding, and broadcast seeding in the rainy season. This is due to the riverbed and increased flood risk, based on experience accumulated over the past 6 decades and site-specific conditions. The planted materials have a 70% survival rate, and the vegetation cover has been increased to 40%. Don't feel like visiting this jaw-dropping city? Don't you want to know more? Before we continue, please hit the like button and subscribe to Worldwide Projects to never miss any of our videos. Moving on. The sand dunes are no longer moving as a result of this. The strategy has assisted in controlling roughly 6,667 hectares of desert in the historic county that is also on the desert's edge. A previously sandy region is now lush with trees, grass, and a large number of straw checkerboards, and tanned sheep from grazing Banyanchi are renowned for producing fine wool and tender mutton, despite the fact that overgrazing was the primary cause of desertification and land degradation. Through informational campaigns, farmers were also made aware of the necessity of keeping their sheep off the damaged land. As a result, the forest cover has grown by 2%, and there are now an average of 11 fewer dusty days per year. The biodiversity has also improved, with several multi-year pasture grasses making a comeback. A deputy director of the Environment and Forestry Department in Yanqi County, named Shen Jidong. Another adjacent city is Shuangwei. The desert has long been under threat from desertification, and the 1950s saw the first attempts to manage the sand. China's first railroad crossing and the desert was built close by at the same time as the Lanzhou Railway. The labor-intensive nature of checkerboards makes them far from simple. Working in pairs, a woman first places the straw on the sand, while a man uses a shovel to press the straw's cut end into the sand. However, the development of a portable instrument has raised the survival rate by 20%, while halving the project's personnel costs. A barrier for the city and vital infrastructure such as the railway and highways that would have vanished under the sand has been built using more than 21,333 hectares of the desert and 33 hectares of grass and shrubs. The city's tourism business is flourishing as people from all across China travel there to view and experience the desert. The new jobs and revenue sources also assist the local community. For instance, Wang Wengjing, a farmer from the village of Jiaitan, grows desert chives and sells them to places as far away as Beijing, Shanghai, and Guangzhou as part of the effort to restrict desert tourism. According to him, he owns 4 greenhouses and earns 100,000 yuan, or roughly $15,000 annually. When chopped and fermented, another plant, the caragana, a significant sand-fixing shrub species that requires frequent pruning, makes superb fodder for sheep and goats. It has a lot of protein. According to Zhao Yanji, the leader of the local farmers' cooperative that sells feedstock, his sheep reproduce more when fed caragana-based fodder. Caragana offers a potential market, so he intends to increase output next year. It's a good task to make checkerboards out of straw. The chief of the project management office at Tangjiming Zhongwei claimed that from May to August, 700 to 800 farmers have been engaged to produce straw checkerboards every day. In just 6 years, they have paid more than 70 million yuan in total salaries and 16 million yuan to purchase straws from farmers. Even straw checkers can provide a living for some farmers. They are employed in the provinces of Ningxia, as well as Inner Mongolian, Shaanxi, Xinjiang, and Gansu. Sweet, selenium-rich watermelon is a national bestseller and a significant source of income for local farmers. However, after a few years of use, the soil in the watermelon field with the gravel mulch degrades. The study prompted the farmers to switch to calcium-rich fruits, including wolfberries. A calcium-rich fruit that resembles a cherry, calcium fruit grows in arid, sandy soil. China has been so effective at halting the spread of the desert that other countries are now copying its strategies. Global desertification is a problem with wide-ranging effects. Eco-safety, the eradication of poverty, socioeconomic stability, and sustainable development. China shares its knowledge and effective strategies with other nations every year as it fights desertification. Numerous representatives and specialists from different nations travel to Ningxia to study indigenous and sand prevention and control methods. Bashir Daoud, from Jordan's meteorological agency, valued the chance to participate in the training course. In Ningxia alone, 53,000 hectares of the desert have been controlled, and 60% of the land in the project area with the straw checkerboard is covered in vegetation. So, that's all for today. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for your support. Please like and subscribe for more amazing videos. Don't forget to tap the bell icon for notifications. Refer to other videos on our channel for more content.